So you have come to appreciate that placement test stuff is complicated. You've watched the videos about whether you need to take it, that tutors are able to help, about perspective on review rather than skipping levels, that the practice website is there. It's a great resource to experience test questions and warm up on the vocabulary and have something to ask tutors about. You've also got this last video about just some stuff to keep in mind on test day. And then here we go. Number 5 is what we're on right now. Who are our academic coaches and what they can do for you? But I'm also going to just list off some of the scenarios that I highly recommend you talk to the coach about, because it's complicated and one answer does not fit all, but there's stuff out there that, I wouldn't mention these options to most students. So if you're watching this video, kind of just listen for your situation and maybe it will be something that you want to talk to an academic coach about. If we click on this link here, the Avid Center's academic coaching box at the tutoring website, we see ways to schedule with them. You can book an appointment online and it will give you a calendar to click on the dates. And I believe you'll have an email to reply to, and the form lets you kind of type in, hey, I'm interested in placement stuff. It's a great system and they are super responsive and they monitor a shared email account so that any day of the week that you see hours happening, someone is monitoring that email account. And you can also call and leave a voice message and they'll give you a call back as well. So great option to have the coaches. What kind of scenarios might you want to talk to a coach about? You probably don't need to talk to a coach. If you watch those videos and you saw that, hey, those tools are going to be fine for me, I'm not too worried about things. If I have questions, I'll just ask the math tutors. Here's a scenario for us that's probably very worthy of talking to an academic coach. Let's say you took the placement test and you placed below where you think you should be. You know you're going to do a retest and you want to really plan and prepare before you do that. If that's your situation, then an academic coach is a great person to share some more with, and they will mention some other options to you, and I'll just briefly allude to those. So for example, maybe your past experience was not one in your math class last time, in whatever high school situation or prior, where you felt good about it. You might want to really start at Math 10, and they can give you some perspective on that. Math 10, though, is a class that you're starting to now pay the college tuition for the credits, and maybe that's not a good option financially. If you share that with your coach, they can suggest other ways. There are ways to learn math at a much lower cost than paying the $130 or so per credit for the college tuition. Also, they can tell you about the idea of a time frame, like the advisors can tell you about too, where you want to potentially delay the start of your time frame if maybe you want to pursue an option like, how about some non-college credit, low-cost options to learn my math before I start paying the tuition, and maybe I can start paying the tuition at a higher level. For example, an academic coach knows about our GED math classes. Those are very cheap because the funding comes in part from the state, and GED math is a great option for learning the material in 10 and 20 and even 60 and placing up into 60 or 65 after some low cost quarters of GED math. But again, time frame is another factor, and it's complicated, and we don't just want to say, hey, do this or do that. We want to find out your situation and what works best for you. And they're aware of all these kinds of options. So do email them at the contact information we saw on the website, and just let them know you'd like to talk placement stuff, and they can go down whatever road you need to go down. And academic coaches are just great folks to have connected with early in your college experience, because they're going to put on your radar all the important things that we wish every student at Mount Hood knew when they began. Things about, accessing your Saints email, features of the portal, that's the My MHCC, missing financial aid documents, where to go and how to quickly get that stuff turned in so that you get your refund on time for living expenses. They can talk to you about the differences between loans you've got to repay from your financial aid loans versus grant money versus work study. They know about jobs on campus. They know about all of the great resources for food, bus passes, financial assistance, extra support, all sorts of things, as well as very basic things. At the end of 2 years at Mount Hood, you could have learned one by one a lot of things that it would have been nice to know at the start. When do you apply for scholarships? And can I talk to a writing tutor about my personal statements? Is there more than one kind of scholarship application to apply for? I don't have a 4.0. Am I really going to get a scholarship? Yes, you are. And there's a lot to know. So have a coach, check in with them every term, and start it off with the placement stuff if that's a good fit for you.